The following segment is sponsored by Daniel A. White and Associates. It does not necessarily reflect the views of WDEL or Forever Media.
Well, it should.
The Rick Jensen Show on 101.7 FM, 1150 AM, WDEL, and streaming to your smart speaker and mobile device.
On the phone, Dan White, financial planner, specializing in retirement income. I, too, am indeed a happy camper client of Dan's. Hey, Dan, first thing, we got to congratulate you. What a fantastic deal. You're opening a brand new office there in Lewis, aren't you?
Yeah, it's kind of exciting. We actually opened the doors in February, but yeah, we're having a grand opening. It's coming up quick. It's Thursday, June 13th from 4 to 6 p.m. We're going to have food trucks and drinks, raffle prizes, giveaways. And we just encourage all local residents and business owners down in the Lewis area to come out and get to meet us.
I have a number of listeners who are from Lewis. I hear from a couple of them quite often and others every once in a while. That's how I know. And I'm looking for the weather forecast for June 13th. We'll see.
Yeah, we're hoping for good weather. We're going to have a couple games down there for people to play cornhole and stuff like that. And
nice.
If they want to get a head count, to register, you can either call 610-472-7626 or on our website. You can just go to events at danwhiteandassociates.com.
You know, that makes sense. Go to danwhiteandassociates.com. You see the events tab and you click that, right?
Yep. Pretty easy.
To me, that seems a lot easier than memorizing a phone number anymore. You know, 610-472-7626.
Yep.
Yeah, Dan White and Associates, top it in, boom, there you go. So, well, congratulations. I'm really pleased that you guys are, even opening now a second office here in Delaware. You're in Middletown. That was a great opening a few years ago.
Yep.
And it's just an excuse for you guys to get down to the beach.
Yeah, like we need another excuse to go to the beach, but
right. Yeah.
It just seemed like a logical progression because we even have clients that have retired down there, and it seems to be a booming area. That Lewis, Rehoboth area is just growing and growing and growing, and we wanted to be part of it. So
it really is. I was down there for Memorial Day weekend, and I was hanging out with a couple of friends of mine who are members of the town council in Dewey, as well as some other folks there in Dewey. And we just were looking at it and talking about the construction, the building that's going on in Dewey. They're often taking a smaller rundown home and just making a somewhat bigger home on it. And then Rehoboth, there's the same thing going on. So there is construction, there is growth. Unfortunately, for people who don't like the traffic, there really is a lot of growth going on there. So it's a natural thing for you guys, yeah.
That seems to be the big complaint in the summertime is all the traffic, but it's amazing. It just I've been down there a couple times, and just the amount of commerce and businesses that have moved down to that area is just incredible.
Oh yeah, Dewey is the business of play, and Rehoboth, very much the same, but there's also more business there as well. So every Wednesday after the news at 1:30, Dan, you call in, or we'll have one of the other professionals, one of the other associates, the Dan White and Associates, call in with some advice. And sometimes it's Social Security, sometimes it's IRAs. And what's this about in-service withdrawals you texted me about?
Yeah, this is something that we do a lot of work in. Congress determined that 401ks and other company plans, should be retirement funds. And for that reason, they've imposed very strict restrictions on the ability of employees to withdraw from those plans while they're still working. And the plans have to follow these rules or they risk losing their tax-qualified status. But there's all kinds of different things they can impose upon these plans. And one thing you have to remember is each 401k account has its own restrictions. So we can talk in generalities, and I usually tell people, 59 and a half is the magic age where the gate swings open, but it doesn't necessarily mean it does. Each plan can set its own rules. So we're just going to go over some general rules as it applies to 401k plans. Pre-tax and Roth employee contributions generally, 401k plans can't allow in-service distribution from pre-tax and Roth contribution accounts before age 59 and a half. But withdrawals from those accounts are available if the plan allows in case of financial hardship, disability, or birth or adoption, or for reservists. So they changed a couple of these rules due to the Secure Act, and they did give some more exemptions. After-tax contributions, so if your plan allows non-Roth after-tax contributions, they can allow those contributions and their earnings to be withdrawn at any time, even before age 59 and a half. So if you have after-tax money, you can usually roll that out. Employer contributions. Most plans that allow in-service withdrawals from employer contributions follow the same rules that apply to pre-tax and Roth contributions. That simplifies plan administration, but plans can be more liberal, and they can allow withdrawals at a specified age, even earlier than 59 and a half, after 5 years of plan participation. There's one other one that pops up all the time, especially, I guess, in Delaware. DuPont is very big, as we know. And DuPont broke up a couple years ago, and you had people moving from DuPont to Dow to Axalta to Chemours and all the different companies. If you have changed companies and you rolled over your 401k from your previous employer to your new employer, a lot of 401k plans allow that rollover money to be rolled back out to an IRA, even if you're not age 59 and a half.
Really?
So we've had people that are 50 years old, but hey, they rolled over, $500,000. They changed jobs and they rolled over $500,000 into the new 401k. They're thinking, well, I can't do anything. I'm only 50 years old. Yeah, you can do something with the rollover money. You can't do anything with the money you've contributed to the plan, but a lot of times the rollover money is available no matter what your age is. So, again, we just try to make people aware because they think they're kind of stuck until they retire. I will still stick to the age 59 and a half is usually, I'd say 90% of the plans out there allow you to take in-service distributions. And what you do, they'd be taxable if you took the money, but you roll them over to an IRA and they're not taxable.
As opposed to some people, I was going to say, as opposed to some people who have taken loans out of their 401k,
right.
That's totally different.
Yeah, loans are different. You have to pay the loans back, and you have restrictions on that. You're usually only allowed to borrow like 50% or 25% of the account balance up to $50,000, something like that. So, again, every plan is different, but I guess the two rules of thumb are 59 and a half. Usually the gates are open, and if you've rolled money into your 401k plan, that money can usually be rolled back out no matter what age you are.
All right, and you found ways to help people out when they're even 50 years old to get that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, there are a lot of folks here in Delaware, South Jersey, who are 70 and over. And by the time you hit 70, I mean, that's when you max out pretty much on your Social Security. So you might as well start taking it, right? Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, 70. You don't want to wait past 70 because it's not going to go up anymore.
Okay, so that's not a problem. I mean, that's just basically de rigueur. You simply contact Social Security or whatever, or you just call your plan administrator, I guess. I guess that's what you call your plan administrator and say, hey, you want to, if you're still working. But
no, it's 70. You would contact Social Security directly. You'd either go online or you'd make an appointment at one of their offices.
Really? Regarding now, I'm talking about someone who's like 70, let's say 72 years old, and they're still working. And they say, well, you know what? I'm still working. I'm getting my paycheck, but I also want to take money out of my 401k. In fact, you have to. At some point, you have to. So
at 73, yeah, but a lot of the 401k plans have what's called the still working exception.
Yeah.
Which means if you are not more than a 5% owner of the plan and you're still active in the plan, you're not required to take any distributions until you stop working.
Gotcha. All righty.
Yeah. Dan
White and Associates. Sunday morning, 7 o'clock, you present On the Money, and it's going to be here on 1150 a.m. and 101.7 FM, WDEL. Streaming live at WDEL.com. What's this Sunday morning's topic?
Not going to be a very popular topic because we're all kind of feeling the pinch right now, but the topic is higher inflation can cause retirement ruin.
Damn.
So I wish
that sounds like fun.
Well, we're all feeling it at the pump and the grocery store, and now we're just going to talk about it and what you can do to kind of make it a little bit easier. So
Yeah, I don't even know how you overcome that. I mean, year to year, inflation 3.4, 4.2%. We're seeing some of those numbers, those month to month, year to year. But the real truth is we're at a little over 19% inflation measured from January 2021. 19. And groceries are at 35% higher than they were in January of 2021. I don't know how you overcome that without getting a second job.
Getting a pay raise. Yeah, same thing with gas. I mean, if you remember, gas was probably down around 210, something like that. Now we're back up to 370, and, it's crazy.
I saw that at the beach and coming up this weekend. So, well, congratulations, speaking of the beach, on your new Lewis office. The grand opening is going to be June 13. You can go to danwhiteandassociates.com. Dan got on the internet early and didn't realize that's a whole lot of typing. So, that's what happens when you're a first adapter, right? It's like, I'll do this.
Yeah.
Dan White and Associates. Come on over and click onto our website.com. So, no, it's danwhiteandassociates.com. Bookmark it. You don't have to type it again. And look for events, and you can sign up and enjoy the big party that they're going to have at Lewis on June the 13th. All right?
Yeah, we would love to see everybody.
Great stuff. Well, thanks, Dan. Good talking to you.
All right, you have a great day, Rick.
You too. It's 302. Let me get that phone. 5 to 9, 1017 to 302 5 to 9 1017.